got so motherfucking design on right now. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. I got 3 old guys in the block.
On the record in the matter of Shamika Barney versus Johnny Davidson, 25-00019. Let's hear it, please. State your name, please.
Shamika Barney. How you doing today?
I'm well. How are you and your name?
Johnny Davidson.
Very good. Today's the date that's scheduled for a non-jury trial. Barney versus Davidson, but it should be Davidson versus Barney, correct? You're
No,
bringing this lawsuit?
No, I reopened it. His was discharged to the bankruptcy chapter 7, and I reopened it for defamation of character. And that's why it's Barney versus Davidson.
Okay, got it.
So I reopened it.
Let me see. I can see the bankruptcy discharge order in here. Okay, you can make your, present your proofs.
Okay.
Tell me about your case.
I want to first, the first proof I have is Mr. Davidson claimed that there was a vacation that was never booked, that I scammed him out of vacation. That was incorrect. There was a vacation, me and Mr. Davidson dated roughly a few weeks. He booked a vacation through my travel partner, Apple Vacations, for my birthday vacation. Things were not going accordingly to Mr. Davis' intentions. He thought because he was doing certain things for me that I owed him something in exchange, which I didn't feel I owed him anything.
I need you to slow down for me.
I'm sorry.
I gotta digest it.
Okay.
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 This is a defamation.
Yes.
I vaguely remember, I don't know if it was a motion for summary. You all dated briefly,
Basically.
at least, I believe that was your claim that you dated briefly.
Correct.
And that there was a vacation that was booked,
Mhm.
that he was suing you, I guess, to get money back. He said that you scammed him out of vacation.
Right, which didn't happen. The vacation, basically, long story short, which I have proof here, the vacation got canceled.
What is the statement that you're saying was the defamation, that
The
you scammed
defamation of
him?
character is that he's lying, saying that I scammed him. He went on to Better Business Viewer and Google and put my business, which is Mika's Boutique and More, my store, has nothing to do with me and Mr. Davidson's personal relationship. My
Okay,
travel
you
agency.
still got to slow
I'm sorry.
down for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so the basis of your claim is that he scammed, he published a statement saying that you scammed him out of a vacation
No, he claimed that was never booked, which was booked.
that was never booked, and that this is what he published on a public website?
On Better Business Viewer, and also on a he put 2 different applications on Better Business Viewer and one on Google. Which the vacation got booked, the vacation got canceled because he canceled and requested cancellation. The flights were canceled. Mr. Davidson has a credit of $772.97 that he has not called to even use those credits. He has until April 26th. So technically, I never owed him anything.
So how much was the vacation?
The vacation total was $3,085.10.
Okay, and this was booked back when?
This was booked back on December 16, 2024.
Okay, so not even a year ago yet.
Not even a year ago. It was
Okay, and at
canceled.
the time you both were
We
dating.
were dating. Mhm.
Okay, and how long have you been dating when this was booked?
Not even maybe a week. If that, a week and a half.
Okay, and tell me what the conversation was, or how it was that you came about booking the vacation. What did he say?
He said, I wanted to go to Jamaica. I had never been to Jamaica before. I've done cruises and things like that. And so he said he'd take me for my birthday. So long as I have.
When is your birthday?
March 11th.
Okay, and so this was December. He said he's never been to Jamaica, and he will take you for your birthday. Asked you to book it,
Correct. He asked me to
Okay.
book it. Now,
and you're going in March?
we're going in March. Correct.
When in March is your birthday?
March 11th.
And when was the trip?
Book March 9th to March 12th.
Okay,
Which I also have all the emails from the beginning of the relationship to the end of this conversation.
these
which-
emails or texts?
These are text messages.
Okay, okay, and you want to present this as proof of conversations that you had?
Correct.
Did you show him a copy of that?
I'm sure he has it from our phone to each other. So.
But court rules, you gotta show him a copy of what
okay.
you're presenting as evidence.
Okay, so you want to see the,
If you want to do text messages first, you show him that, and then
okay,
you can make them, you show them to him.
okay, so you're gonna text the messages first.
And are these messages gonna tell me about how we went about booking the vacation? Or-
Yes, it's gonna
Okay.
show how I got booked. It's gonna show him giving a credit card number. It's also gonna show him saying we're gonna use another credit card number. So also telling him that I'm his girlfriend. We're gonna go, he's taking me to go see Leela James, taking me to a vacation for my birthday, taking me to a Martin Luther King event, all these things that he's
Okay.
doing in this relationship.
Okay, so this is going to be marked, all of those will be marked as your exhibit one, your exhibit one. You have any objection to those
No.
being the minutes? Okay, you can submit those, okay.
When Mr. Davidson asked me to cancel the vacation originally, see, what he didn't understand is that when you take money from someone using a credit card for a vacation, anyone that uses a credit card knows that it takes 7 to 10 days, 10 to 14 days, or 14 to 28 days. You're not gonna get no money back right away. So I had to reach out to Apple Vacations in order to have this vacation canceled, to go their process on their cancellation in order to request travel credits. Mr. Davidson did not allow me time. I want my money back today. I'm taking you to court. I'm suing you.
Okay.
It's a
Slow
process.
it down. It's early.
I'm sorry, Ms. Simmons. I'm just
You
trying
gotta
to.
slow it down,
Okay,
okay?
all right.
So there was a short, brief whirlwind relationship.
Uh-huh.
Your girlfriend, you're going on vacation for your birthday.
Right.
How long after the vacation was booked before you all dissolved the relationship?
Well, the same day, January 7th is when he wanted to cancel the vacation. It was actually supposed to be, I guess, his birthday.
January 7th was his birthday,
Correct.
and that's
Or-
when y'all broke up?
Correct, because he wanted something for me for his birthday. He didn't get, so he decided to cancel my birthday vacation.
Got it, okay. So January 7th broke up, and so he said cancel the vacation.
Yeah, and the
And you
vacation.
went in on January 7th to cancel?
Well, I came in on January 8th. The vacation was canceled. The flights were canceled first, which I have confirmations from Delta showing that the vacation were canceled. Our flights were canceled, which they were non-refundable, which the itinerary shows here, unrefundable. Basic economy, fare exchanges, upgrades, nothing available, which means non-refundable means you're not getting any money back or no credit on the flight. That's what I know you know. Okay, so then a travel credit was issued for the resort. Because he did cancel the resort in the time frame, there was a resort credit, which took about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks for them to issue that, which he was already trying to do a counter sue. Instead of giving Apple Vacations, I didn't have the money they had. I'm not going to reach in my pocket and give you money. It comes from the company. So I had to wait for them to go, their cancellation to go that way. And so that's where he came about. The same day that he canceled the vacation, he went on Google on January 8th and Better Business Bureau and stated, first he stated very bad service in the process of filing a small claims court case against her booking. Booking was not complete. Here's a complete itinerary. He says that the
You
booking
have
was never
a
complete.
printout of what he said?
I do.
Thank God, because you're moving so quickly.
I'm sorry. Which he said I'm a scam artist. Apple Vacations is not a scam.
Okay, let's
company.
slow down. So first, you have the paperwork there was proof of
The
the
actual booking
booking
itinerary.
and then cancellation.
Yep, this is the
Can you
booking.
separate it and then show him, Mr. Davidson, the proof of the
This is the
booking
booking, there's a cancellation.
and
for the
cancellation?
flight.
Any
You wanna look
objection
at
to
it.
those as exhibits?
You want to look at the booking, the cancellations for the airline tickets and the actual booking.
Okay, we'll have those admitted.
Okay.
And then you had, what else, ma'am?
Then here is also applications, a credit. Hold on, let's see. Let me give you a breakdown one. He tried to do a charge back to his credit card company and tried to say that he didn't book it, which they declined the charge back here. And we issued a credit
Oh, he tried to, you mean, file a claim with his
with his
credit?
credit card company. He called his credit card company and told them that he never booked the vacation, which the text messages show that. That's when he tried to sue me. That didn't work out, but. Okay.
I got you.
There's no objection to that as
Oh, well,
exhibits,
no.
okay.
Well, I can't scam you if you got a credit there. Here's the Better Business Viewer. He said, my ex-friend supposed to have booked a vacation for me using Apple Vacation, but she used her travel agency. This is Apple Vacations, as you see the itinerary, but she used her travel agency. I never authorized her in doing that. You see the text messages. He authorized me to use his credit card, so I'm not understanding why he would say that. He said, then she booked under her name. The itinerary clearly says Mr. Davidson name first and me as a secondary person on the itinerary. I wanted to cancel the trip. She refused and will not credit my account back. I'm in the process of taking her to small claims court. I never authorized her to be my travel agent. Then he posted on here my zip code for my home address, my personal email address, my company, my boutique, not my travel agency, my boutique name, my boutique number, and put my boutique business name and reported this on January 14th. My businesses have nothing to do with me and Mr. Davis's personal relationship. So he went and tried to badger my business based on something that happened in a personal relationship. These are also Your Better Business Viewer and your Google.
Yeah.
I have a few emails also because I try to make it business as I seen it wasn't going anywhere personal, but I couldn't even talk to him with common sense on the business level. So I had some emails stating that, hey, I don't owe you anything. This was a birthday trip. You didn't get travel insurance. If you don't get travel insurance, you don't get a credit, you don't get a refund. I'll see what I can do. I contact corporate. Corporate was able to give him a credit, which he never called me to use that credit because I am the travel agent that is partnered with Apple Vacations. He has to contact me to spend that $720, that $772. So if he don't contact me to spend that, then he loses that travel credit. Because that's how Apple Vacations work. You have to be a partner with Apple to book with Apple or go through an Apple advisor.
He can't call Apple and say, I can't work with this person anymore. Can you book it? He can't call them directly to book.
You can't call them directly. And I explained that to him. So, bringing me to court was like, and I'm still willing to let him use his credits, even though after he tried to falsely, accuse me, trying to sue me for something that supposedly got scammed, that didn't get scammed. But he has a credit of $772 that he needs to use before April 2026. That still stands. So I didn't understand, what do I owe you?
Okay, and so tell me what's your proofs about damages? Because
so the damages is like, okay, so
well, let me explain damages before you start.
Okay.
So the way it works for defamation, you have to prove that there was a false statement that was published to another person or a third party, and then that it caused you some harm, some damage. So what was the damages?
Okay, so by him posting it on my business, first of all, that's defamation of character because you're lying on me. He said I was a scammer, that I'd never booked a vacation that got booked. My boutique has nothing to do with him. So him badgering me or my company has nothing to do with a vacation. That's irrelevant. I deal with customers. I've had my company for 8.5 years. I've had my travel agency for 6. I've been in the community of Lansing for 6.5. I deal with people, unfortunately, like him with Eve's House, domestic violence shelter. I assist women. I'm a life coach. I'm a relationship therapist here in Lansing, and I serve in my community. And what he did was wrong. He tried to use something because he couldn't get what he wanted from me to try to sue me for something that he did wrong. He wrongfully went on Google and Better Business Viewer saying things that were untrue to my character, could have caused harm to my business.
Did it
People
cause
look
harm
at
to your
reviews.
business?
I'm sure it did. I don't know who I've seen it, but it was published. And it was published there for quite a while. And
Is
I'm
it still
established,
published there, or
it's still, well, one of them I disputed off and the better is still there. I'm going back and forth with people, giving them,
Which one was
documents.
this?
letting
You
them
talking about
know.
the Better Business?
The Google one, yeah.
Okay.
Because it's like, okay, people look at reviews nowadays. People review
I've
plays a
always
major
looked at
part in the
reviews.
business. I'm always looking at review. When I go out of town, go somewhere, eat, whatever. And the thing is that I've been self-employed 16 years. My bankruptcy was my personal assets, not my business. I'm still in business. So that has nothing to do with, me and his personal life. He exposed my personal business to my customers, people that had no idea this was going on, which was embarrassing. I kept lost wages coming down here, coming to court for something that was false, that did not actually happen. And that's.
So you lost wages coming here?
Coming,
you live in Lansing?
I live in Lansing, but I'm closing my store to come down here to be in court.
Your store's in Lansing?
Yeah, my store's in Lansing. Yeah, at the time I was on Cedar, I'm on Holmes Road, 913 West Holmes Road.
Okay.
I was at 6920 South Cedar for 5 years and 3700 Waverly Road for 4. So I've had my store for 8.5 years. So I'm well known in Lansing. I'm with the Chronicle News, the Lansing State Journal, the State News. I've done a lot here in my community. So that was an embarrassment to me and my business.
Any other proofs or witnesses? Are those witnesses?
That's my daughter, what she knows about the relationship, my assistant, and also a friend. I brought this man to church with me on New Year's Eve to bring in the New Year. So I don't play about God, and I don't play about anything that I do. So I thought he was a sincere person. I met him on a dating site, and the vacation that he booked was actually on my dad's birthday. My dad was murdered a few years ago. So I took this, thank you, personally.
Okay.
I went through a lot for a whole year for something that got booked because he couldn't be responsible and talk to me like a normal human being and let me go through the process of applications, and I wouldn't have been going through this.
And are you're still with Apple Vacations?
I am.
Did you suffer any issues with Apple Vacations because of this?
I did. I had to send them a lot of paperwork and everything because I've never had any bad review on none of my companies. I'm a notary for Lansing. I'm also a process server. I'm a coach, a boutique, and a travel agent. I have never had one review bad on any of my customers, any of my clients. He's the first, and he was never a client. It was a personal relationship. So I take that, it's hard to be a business owner. I'm self-employed. I'm not an employee, so he wouldn't know anything about a business versus a personal life.
Well, I don't know what he would know about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a chance to tell me what he knows. Are you finished now, though, ma'am?
I am.
Okay, you can make your defense.
Well, when I came to court for our case, it was stayed.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the defamation.
Okay, the defamation,
She is saying that
Okay,
you,
I got proof.
she is suing you for defamation, saying that you made a false statement. And in order to defeat a defamation claim, you have to prove that it's true.
okay, right here is proof that I was not credited for my vacation because she sent a false itinerary with somebody else's name to my credit card company, and they reversed the charges that I was supposed to get my refund on.
Okay, let me first stop. Were you all ever in a relationship?
Yes,
Okay. 'Cause when you came for your motion, you told me something different. So you're now agreeing that you were in a relationship.
it was just the beginning of a
There,
relationship.
but you were in a relationship at the beginning of a relationship. I didn't ask you were you married.
Yeah.
You were in a relationship, a personal relationship.
Yeah, personal relationship.
Okay, and so, did you offer to take her on vacation for her birthday?
No,
Okay, you asked her to book a trip for you to go to Jamaica?
well, I usually take a baseball trip at the beginning of the spring and the summer, and at the end,
Okay,
just like I stated. So I told her she could join me when I go to Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica 2 or 3 times. So it's nothing new for me to go to Jamaica. So I said,
okay, you wanted
she
to go.
said, that was my first. Yeah.
That part is
Yeah.
semantics, but the fact, did you ask her to book a trip for you to Jamaica?
Well, at first I was gonna book it, then she said, I'll take over and I'll book it. I usually never let
You
anybody
said you were gonna book yourself a trip to Jamaica,
book us a trip to
book
Jamaica.
both of you all a trip to
Yeah,
Jamaica,
yeah.
okay?
I usually do all my travel bookings myself. And when you do it yourself through Apple Vacations, when your name is on it, you can cancel it without anyone else participating in it.
Right, so the purpose of you booking the trip to Jamaica was just to go to Jamaica?
Yeah, just to go to Jamaica for.
Where are
a
you
bit.
going during her birthday?
It was pre-baseball, before my baseball season started.
When does your baseball season start?
At the end of March.
Okay, so the best time that you come up with was just so happened to be on her birthday weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All right.
mean, it was a relationship, so why not make it for
And
her
when I
birthday?
read these messages, I'm not gonna see anything that contradicts that, correct?
I don't,
Okay, so you're going because it's pre-baseball. And then that you asked that this would be booked in December 2024, this past December, correct? Okay, and it was $3,085?
yes, it was.
And that's with the flights?
Flights, and which she had sent back to my, they broke it down, my credit card company. It says that I took out, what's it called, travel insurance. That's why she said I didn't have travel insurance. My credit card company said, that's one of the reasons you didn't get your money back. You had booked with travel insurance.
Yeah, I know what's wrong.
So
What is this that you have here that you wanna offer?
this is what I got from my credit card company.
You can show it to
Oh,
me.
you can go ahead and send.
And it's saying what?
Nonsense.
And it says that they reversed the charges because they saying that I had travel insurance. On the back of it, it has the itinerary. It doesn't even have my name on it. It has somebody else's name on it. That's Shamika and Tia name on it.
Okay, and then, okay, so that's been admitted, that's your exhibit A. I had more questions. You asked her to book this December on or about December 16th, 2024?
Yeah, somewhere. around there.
Okay, and then you all were fine up until right after the new year?
Right after the new year, she started having problems. See,
When's your birthday, sir?
January 7th.
Okay, so January 7th, you all broke up?
Yes, I told her, she had called me, like, first of all, she had problems with her car. Then I need a new tire. Then she called me on her birthday, I need this. See,
Her birthday hadn't come yet.
no, her birthday haven't even came
So how
yet.
did you just told me she called you on your birthday.
Yeah.
I'm talking about January.
What?
What happened in January? You're telling me about she called you on your birthday saying she needed a new tire. That's not,
No, I'm talking about,
you weren't dating her in her birthday anymore.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
It was my birthday.
Oh, so she called you on your birthday and said she needed to retire
She was supposed to take me out to dinner or whatever.
for your birthday.
Yeah. And then she was like, I can't do this. I got this is that. I said, you know what? Since you
She does talk fast, but I don't know what that means. I can't do this because this and that or whatever.
And she was just yelling about something. I said, you know what?
Something was going on.
Yeah, you need to get your life in shape. And I'm just gonna step back. I'm not gonna deal with all this. You know, when people are going through issues, it's not, you know what? I'm gonna step back and let the coast clear. I'm not gonna see people try to date when they're going through stuff.
I don't need you to explain all that to me.
Yeah.
What I need you to explain to me what happened here. Don't give me none of this what people try to do.
But I'm saying
You all were fine up until January 7th, and then January 7th, she's supposed to take you to dinner, but she had an issue.
Yeah.
And you decided, don't hear me, just listen first. You decided that she has too many issues, so you say you were gonna step back.
Yeah.
Okay. So had you been having some issues or had some concerns about her issues prior to January 7th?
Yes, I had.
Okay. And did you ever communicate that to her?
Yes.
Okay.
I had.
Okay, so January 7th, she's supposed to take you to dinner, didn't happen. You say you communicate to her, you want to take a step back. What did you communicate to her as it relates to the trip that you had planned to take her on?
I said, I'm canceling the trip.
You say you're canceling the trip.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
And that's when she said, you booked a non-refundable vacation.
Okay.
And I said, with Apple Vacation, I do a lot of traveling. So I know that they will refund my expenses. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but what about the flight? Where was your flight booked through? Apple?
It was booked through, it's supposed to be booked through Delta.
Okay,
but
did you book a refundable flight?
But that flight was never booked
What do
through
you mean it
Delta.
was never booked through Delta? What does that mean?
Because I never got confirmation email. You know how you get a confirmation email with
Telling you the flight's booked?
yeah.
Okay, so because you never received a confirmation email, your belief is that it was never booked?
Nope.
Okay, but did you ever get a confirmation from Apple?
Apple said I had to.
Did you ever get a confirmation from Apple about your vacation being booked?
Okay, yes, I did.
Did it say anything about a flight on there?
They said they couldn't give me any information on it.
The email on the confirmation said, can't give you any information on the flight.
No, they said they couldn't even give me any information about the booking because
Who's they?
Apple.
Where's the email confirmation you got about your Apple vacation? I asked you, did you get one? You said, yeah, where is it?
This is the thing of it is, like she got this.
No. I asked you a question. You can tell me the thing of it is later. Where is the confirmation that you got from Apple after your vacation was booked?
I didn't get anything from Apple.
You just told me you did.
No, I just got this. I thought this was from Apple, but it wasn't.
When did you get that?
This is an itinerary.
When did you get that?
When I booked it, but it's not from Apple.
Who is it from?
It's from her.
Okay.
It says
Show
Intel
that to her,
Travel.
please. Can you show that to her?
It says Intel Travel. It never
And you said
came.
it says Intel Travel? No. Just show her. You don't get to speak on it. Are you objecting to this?
No, it's the
exhibit?
application.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not sure what the top said, because he could have copied and pasted that, but the itinerary that I gave.
Well,
you
that's what we're showing it to you
is
for, to
what he
see
got.
if
If it doesn't match what you have the original one, so I can't see that one because you have it. The one I gave you is the same.
you haven't
itinerary.
objected to it. So if he cut and pasted something on there, that was why we give it to you. To
Well,
see
that's
if
why
you-
I'm just asking you a question. I just
Oh, I
said
don't
that
know.
no application that you have is the original itinerary. So
Yeah,
what
but
he
I'm not
has
talking about
here-
that. I can only look
So what he has
right
here,
now.
I'm gonna object to that.
You're objecting it because of what, ma'am? Because of
Because it
this.
doesn't look
of
like
this-
mine.
Right, but is it because of this language at the top? Is that what you
Well,
think?
because it should have came directly, it should come directly from Apple. So if you don't have, it doesn't say what mine say, then that's something that he could have made up, so.
Right, now as I'm noting your objection, I'm looking at it, this looks like an email, and maybe he just doesn't know how to print it the way you printed it, because when you go into an email to print it, you can do things a little differently.
Okay.
But this is what you are telling me you received, sir. Sunday, December 22nd at 11 a.m. It went to your email from Apple Vacations. You just handed this to me.
I
Sir,
agree, but.
I
it's
just
not-
asked you, did you receive something from Apple Vacations? First you said yes, then when I asked you what, then you changed it and say you didn't. Nothing about this tells me that this is not from Apple Vacation. It says it's an Apple Vacation itinerary. It gives you an Apple Vacations reservation number. It says, thank you for choosing Apple Vacations. And so it tells you the departure date. It has your name as the primary name on here, as the
Okay.
passenger. I asked you, did it say anything about an email? I mean, a flight. It tells me your flight information on here. Delta Airlines flight. And then it tells me the return flight, sir. It gives you the confirmation number for your Delta Airlines flight on the paperwork that you just handed to me, that you just told me you did not have any flight information for. So now I'm confused, or maybe I'm not the confused one.
Okay, when I contacted Alpo, they said you have to go through your travel agent and they won't give you any information. It's
I'm not
right
worried
here.
about that right now. Right now, I'm worried about, but my question was, did you ever get anything from, about your flight? You told me no, but you did get something about your flight. And I asked you before that, was your flight non-refundable? You received this December 22nd. Correct?
Yes,
December 22nd, it has your flight stuff was booked with the package.
okay, but does it say non-refundable?
It says basic economy. Non-refundable basic economy fare. I'm a Delta Platinum member. Let me be clear here. I know what basic economy is.
Okay,
You can't even pick your own seat.
Exactly. You got the cheapest flights.
You can't pick your own seat. Delta's gonna make you pay extra. You can't make a change. If you miss your flight, you might be out of trouble. If you book basic economy, that's what this is saying. You booked a basic economy fare, which is the lowest one that they offer. If you cancel, you don't even get a credit from Delta if you book basic economy. If it was not your intent to book basic economy, that you can't put that on anyone else, because this was sent to you on the 22nd, and I'm assuming it would have been booked on or about the 22nd, and you get 24 hours to cancel. So you could have looked at it and said, I don't want no basic economy seats. You know, I do this travel thing. I fly in the front of the plane, okay? And so you could have canceled or had your agent who was assisting you at the time, also the person you're in some level of relationship with, to upgrade it. It's gonna cost a little more though. That could have happened. So nonetheless, you were advised based on your exhibit that you had a flight and that it was non-refundable,
okay,
because it says it on here.
okay.
Continue.
So when I tried to listen to cancel the rest, because I booked through Rue and I booked in a.
You booked through Rue? What do you mean?
Rue is a resort.
I know, but what do you mean you booked through them?
I said I had my stay at Rue.
Okay, got
At
it.
Rue, right? So I knew, okay, listen, if I didn't get a refund for the flight, I will get a refund for my resort. But as I can show you in the paperwork that the credit card sent me, they refunded it, the whole trip. And then they sent an itinerary that didn't have my name on it for another person, not me, on that same booking. And that's what I just received, sent to you right there.
This is the exhibit you're telling me. So this is from NCR Payment Solution. Is that your credit card?
Yeah,
Okay, it said, this was in February.
yeah, because she,
It looks like you tried to, this is in response to you disputing the entire charge.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, cardholder made a reservation with their chosen travel agent. The vacation included air tickets from DTW to MBJ, that's Detroit Metro to Montego Bay, local transportation, and the Rue Ocho Rios from the 9th through the 12th. The cardholder did purchase the Travel Protection Plus full travel credit insurance on the package. The called, I don't know what that means. The called and canceled their reservation through Apple Vacation, since both travelers carry travel protection, the cancellation will be processed according to those terms. The protection simply says cancel before a departure and receive future travel credits for your payment minus the cost of the used insurance. So the total pay was $3,085 minus $179, which was the 98, which was the cost of the insurance. So $2905.12 refund due in the form of future credits. Please see attached documentation. Please issue a full reversal to this chargeback. The chargeback was presented so quickly, Apple Vacations did not have a chance to issue the future travel credits. And which is what will happen once reversal was received. This is saying that you should have gotten a credit for $2,905.
Yes, and I didn't get it.
Right, which was incorrect because they made an error on there. The original booking, he didn't have travel insurance. So because he didn't have travel insurance,
Look at the
the flights
paperwork.
were.
Look at the paperwork.
the
I
flights
gotta,
were-
I gotta go by what this says. So
Right.
this came from
Right, well,
Apple,
and that's why you
Apple
have-
Leisure Group, Doug.
If you
Doug
look at the
Reese.
itinerary that I gave you, and if you also look at the travel credit for Apple Vacation, they broke down those dollars.
Doug
Right.
Reese from Apple Vacations. He's supposed to be the fraud chargeback specialist. What's this on the back, sir?
Look
No,
at the
that ain't
paperwork.
the one
No, I'm
gave.
asking you, what is this on the back?
No, that ain't,
What is it on the back? You gave it to me. What is it?
I don't think that's my form.
This
I
is your
don't-
form.
No, that's not mine. That's the one she gave me.
No, this
it's
is what
not.
you handed me.
No, I gave you another one. It's over there.
You just handed me this.
No.
This is,
It's not my document.
this is your document. This is what I just read where you said that you had travel insurance. You had this printed on the back of it.
Let's see. I don't think that's mine.
I'm positive it's yours. And for the record, we have cameras all over here.
Okay, could you look at the other form? Because I don't
I
have the
don't,
blue.
you only gave me 2 forms.
I didn't give you nothing that got a blue on it.
I put the blue on it. It's a sticker telling me that you admitted it into evidence.
Oh, okay. That might be, okay.
This not no Mike. This is yours.
Yeah.
What is this?
That's the documents that prove that of the itinerary that supposed to have went. And you see my
It
name,
says canceled
Yeah,
reservation,
yeah, and my
one
name is not,
adult.
my name is not even on there.
That's not.
Well,
he made that up.
That's her name on here.
And somebody else is.
Well,
Let me explain that.
give me,
Joe,
wait,
to
wait,
you.
wait. I didn't, you know, it's not your turn to talk right
Okay,
now.
I'm sorry. I was trying to, so you can understand what happened.
You'll have an opportunity to present
Okay,
after he presents
okay,
his
gotcha.
defense.
Okay.
But now is not the time. Let's see
Okay.
here. Okay, let's see. Canceled reservation, Traveler 1, total package $1,421. But this is not the same.
It got rebooked. That's what I'm trying
No,
to explain to you.
that clearly you can see that. Probably
didn't-
after you
I wasn't-
canceled it, probably after you canceled it, she said it's still my birthday. I'm gonna go somewhere. I don't know. But that has something, this back doesn't really have anything to do or shouldn't have anything to do with your credit unless she used your credit. So we won't go there right now. We'll keep that right there. Any other proof you got, sir?
So they refused to do a reversal of my credit card company. So I didn't get my money back.
Well, your credit card company should have done a reversal because you booked the trip. That's fraud. You
Exactly.
can't now go put in and tell your credit card company that you didn't book a trip. Yes, you did. You did book a trip.
Yes.
So you tried to get the money
All the
back,
money back.
ma'am.
Sorry.
You tried to get the money back, but you did book a trip and they know you booked the trip. That's why they are requesting, no, you gotta put that charge back on there. He did book this trip and supposedly had insurance. Now, we gotta get into whether or not you had some insurance. I don't have anything otherwise that tells me that you didn't have insurance other than this saying that you did have insurance. If this is the itinerary that was booked, the original,
That's the original itinerary. We can actually call them if you want to call the 800 number. If you got more time, the court's time, we can wait. We can call Apple Vacations and you can ask, I can ask.
okay,
all the
give me
questions.
just, ma'am, give me a moment. Flights and hotels, 2,853. It looked like there was maybe some add-ons of a horseback riding.
Mhm.
That's romantic. And let's see
It was
here,
fun, though.
flights, adult price options. There's nothing on here that says that you booked insurance in this price. There's nothing on there. What do you have there?
Okay, so I didn't book insurance. My credit card company said I booked insurance.
No, that's not your credit card company. This was Apple Vacations fraud specialist. But I don't know where you got that from because it's not here. This is your itinerary. This is what you paid for. This was what was sent to you when you booked.
Yeah, but I'm saying is I didn't get my money back.
What money back?
I'm not getting money back.
Ma'am, I'm gonna have to, if you keep outbursting, your case will be dismissed.
My money back for the vacation because I never took it. I didn't get no credits.
Right, but according to the agent, there is a credit, but it's only for the hotel portion. That there was no credit for the flight portion because it was non-refundable. Now, if you had booked insurance or on that, then that would have covered it, but I don't see in your receipt where it says you booked travel insurance.
So how much was the flight, sir?
That's an excellent question. Let's see here. I have here the total amount due, $3,085. Deposit was paid, $1,767. Full payment was gonna be due on the 23rd of January.
I paid it up full, so I don't know what the work.
It does say that it says full payment due, pay in destination zero. I'm just reading what this itinerary says here, which was her exhibit. Let's see. Non-refundable flights. This doesn't tell me how much the flights were. It just tells me the whole package. It just tells me the whole package, 280, 2853.10. Adult base price, 1,426. I don't know, but we'll ask her that question during her redirect of her own testimony. So any other exhibits or witnesses that you want to present for your defense? And we got to get into the post of the statements. Did you make some posts on social media or Google or Better Business Bureau?
Yes,
Okay, and what were those statements?
I was like, I thought it was a scam because basically, if I'm dealing with Apple Vacations, I have canceled vacations before. And long as I'm the official person who booked it, I can just do it. This shouldn't even take 2 minutes for me to cancel the vacation.
So you're saying you thought Apple scammed you, or who scammed you?
Because
I don't know. I can't listen to points in court.
Okay.
Who?
she did,
Who's she?
Shamika.
Okay, you put on the post that Miss Barney scammed you.
Yeah, because if it was booked through Apple Vacations, I could have canceled the vacation by myself. I didn't need no travel agent or anything. I could have just went on their site and canceled the vacation, and I would have got whatever credits due to me back to me.
And you tried to cancel on Apple,
Yes, I did.
and they told you couldn't.
I could not.
Okay. Anything else that you want? You have
So,
more evidence or no?
I can show you evidence that I tried to cancel through Apple and they kept on sending me back
Yes.
to Shamika, my travel
Do you
agent.
have evidence of that?
Yes.
Some of these don't have anything to do with it. I'm gonna disregard these. He used an itinerary that was rebooked afterwards, so he sent that after the vacation.
So
was
there's no
already
objection to
booked.
this?
So
Okay.
I'm objecting it.
You're objecting to this?
Correct. I don't. Yeah.
Because you're saying the basis of the.
It was
objection-
after the fact. The vacation was canceled on the 8th of January. That's dated on the January 14th. So that's inquiring the itinerary regarding me and my cousin Tia. So after we canceled our vacation, I rebooked with me and my cousin. So that has nothing to do with us. So that email is corresponding to an itinerary that has nothing to do with me and Johnny. was
Okay,
already
but it does
canceled.
have his itinerary number on there though, correct?
Well, they didn't change the itinerary number. What happens is they cancel a booking. When you cancel a booking, you drop someone off, you add somebody else. So it's gonna be the same itinerary number. That's why it says Tia Austin on there and not whatever, Johnny Davis.
Okay, so let me ask a couple follow-up questions for you then.
Okay.
He paid the full $3,085.
He paid a full $3,085, and what happened was he got his credit back for the resort and for the horseback riding. The flights got canceled. And so his credit was only just for the resort and the horseback riding. That's why it's.
Well, his flight got canceled. You used your flight?
No, everything got canceled with me and him. That's why I presented you the Delta. If you look at the exhibits I gave you Delta
Correct.
canceling mine, Delta canceling his, and then there's also a breakdown of the 2,000. Everything's broke down on the application credit.
Right,
It
so
shows
how
us
did you
total
rebook
balance.
then? I'm confused with the same itinerary.
Because what
number.
happens is when you take someone off an itinerary, you add someone else if you're going to continue itinerary. The itinerary doesn't change. So if he calls me today, Apple Vacations, the same itinerary, it's going to have his travel credits on there.
But I'm clear on that. But
Right.
what I'm saying
I'm not
is-
on there. So basically I came off the booking completely. And so it just left what was left on the booking, which means they would have deducted what mine would have been, because you were saying something about $2,000. That's why it came up to $700 and I believe $72 for the travel credit.
No, what my question is, because how much were the flights?
It's a package deal, so they don't give us the price of breakdown. It just gives us the price with everything. So if they give us the room, the flights, and the excursion is all on one itinerary with Apple. That's how
I
Apple does
recognize
their
that, but it
breakdown.
should have some breakdown.
Well, that's how they do the breakdown. So I have no control of how they.
So how did they
break it
come up
down.
with how much are you saying his credit is?
You have the form, ma'am. I don't know. It's right there, $700 and some odd dollars. There's a thing on there that says Apple Vacations travel credit, and it shows what the exact booking was, deducting.
How did they,
Yeah.
how did they determine that was all he had left? 777.
Because that's what-
772.
That's what they deducted from, that's how they do their deductions. That's how they deducted after the hotel, the airline, after the airlines, because the airlines were unrefundable. So they took off the
So
two
you're
airline
saying,
tickets.
you're saying basic economy flights
Uh-huh,
from Detroit to Montego Bay
uh-huh.
was $2,312.
It was the flight, it was 2 flights plus the horseback riding plus the resort. So he didn't get the flights back.
Okay, the
So-
horseback riding.
And then
was
you got
only two-
transportation, it also includes transportation to and from the airport to the resort and from the resort back to the airport. I believe the transportation is on there as well, on the itinerary. So it's a breakdown. It should be flights, transportation from the airport to the resort, and also the excursion.
The excursion was 232.
Okay. And then you have whatever the flights would have been, plus the resort fee, and plus the transportation from the airport to the resort. That's not free. And from the resort back to the airport.
What my question is if you have an itinerary
Uh-huh.
and you cancel it,
Uh-huh.
how do you then rebook it?
How you then rebook the
Yeah,
itinerary?
how do you, if it's canceled, how can you then rebook that itinerary
Well,
with
you
someone
don't
else?
book the same number. You cancel the itinerary and then you just rebook a whole new booking. It
Yeah,
becomes a whole
why
new
did
booking.
why did your rebooking still have the same,
Because I
reservation
was
number?
on the original booking, because I was
so
on the
did
original.
you cancel
booking.
yours?
It was, yes, the complete booking was canceled completely. That's why you got both. I never went, it was canceled on that itinerary. There's a travel credit for him on that itinerary.
I recognize.
Right,
I
yeah, so I don't
recognize
have a
that.
travel credit because it was lost. When the flight got canceled, it took off that completely. It took me off as a passenger and it also took the flight as well. And then it took off his flight. So his refund is based on the resort fee and the excursion. That's how they do the breakdown. Now, how they do their breakdown, I don't work in their accounting. I wouldn't know. I key in the information. They send me the copy. That's what I printed out. We can call Apple Vacation and ask them how do they come up with $700 and some dollars. I mean, I don't know. When it's booked separate, everything's broken down, but when it's booked as a package deal, we book it as a package. So they give us the best deal based on the package, combining everything together. The more we
I
combine it.
recognize that, but they usually tell you, what the rate of the hotels are versus the rate of the.
Right. Not since I've been working with Apple, we don't see that. They can see something that I can't see.
Oh, Apple sees it because if I wanted to upgrade it, my
Right.
seat to first class, there's an additional fee. So they
Right,
know
yeah,
this.
do Apple, yeah, but
And
not if you
Apple
have
knows-
non-refundable. Yeah,
Apple knows that there's a difference. That's why it's a
Right.
package.
right. Yeah, they know. I don't know. I'm a independent contractor, so all I
Got it.
know is that this is what the credit is, and that credit is good till April 8th, 2026. So they refunded him on the credit based on that. So the flights were canceled, whatever the flights were. The
Okay.
excursion was canceled, and then he has a credit of $772.97 that he has not used.
Okay, when you say I can call Apple Vacations, who do I call?
We would call the 800 number, and I would have to call in as a travel agent and ask them how did they get the breakdown for $772.97.
This, the What 800 number are we talking about here?
My company's 800 number for the agents to call in. I would call into the advisor line. And then I would have to give them my agent number and do a verification. And then they would ask me what the reservation number is. And then I would ask them, does this person have travel credit? And then ask them how they come up with that number.
I
with
want
that
you to do
travel.
that for me, please.
That's the only way that I would figure out. I don't know how.
I would like you to do that because I need to know what.
Okay.
If you can tell me, if you can come up here and write the number down.
Let me see.
And then I'll have you dial in your own personal agent number, but I'll call the 100 number on this phone right here.
Okay. And my information is private, so I can't just give out my PIN number. And
No,
all.
that's what I'm saying. I'll have you type it in yourself.
No, I have to tell them that verification.
Oh, you can't type
I
it.
can't type it in. So if we want, I don't know if we want to go in your chamber where I can, where I'm not giving him my personal information.
I'm not, I agree.
That's why it's
Off the record.
confidentiality.
Off the record.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Can I say something? I was looking at the itinerary. When you deduct it's 1426.55 per person. Everything's booked on a two-party basis. When you take that 1426 away from that 7297, his credit comes off to that 653.
That's what I said.
That's why his credit, yeah.
Good credit.
The credit for 7. Yeah.
You can, I'm done waiting for applications. I think I have the information, I believe. However, you were trying to show the court something. Can you show that to her, please? Okay, what is it that you have there? We'll have it on the record.
This is the cancellation because she already had canceled my flight. And that's what her cancellation for her flight was. The amount. So you asking how much would the amount for the flight, how much would the amount for the resort?
Okay, so this is screenshot and it says January 8th.
Yeah.
You received an email maybe of this? How did you get this?
He canceled. He acted like he was me. He called.
I'm asking him a question. How did you receive this?
I got it from Apple Online. Well, I was trying to see why wasn't I?
Apple Online, like Apple Vacations?
Yeah, Apple Vacation Online.
So when you went on to there online, you saw this, but did you see one for you?
Nope, it was gone.
What do you mean it was
It
gone?
wasn't not there. I didn't have one. So that's why I was like, she booked the vacation, but my name was never on it because I never.
So this is what you use as, you can get that back. Well, that's what you use as a basis for you not being on vacation?
Yeah.
Even though you had a itinerary that had your name on it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm telling you right now, that is not a basis of that. That to me, and I'll tell you in my ruling what I believe that was. Do you have any more evidence that you want to provide?
I can just provide I was never refunded anything from my credit card. So, and I haven't even got no travel credits or anything.
Well, we just had Apple on the line, and we got multiple emails that indicate you have a credit as it stands with Apple Vacation for $772.97.
How could I access that?
You have to contact, it says on here, it says you need to contact your travel advisor, Shamika Barney, to redeem
I don't
those
want to deal
credits.
with that.
You have to contact Apple Vacations or IntelliTravel to figure out that. I don't have anything to do with that, but they're saying that you do have a credit. You wanted no other additional evidence on your end, correct? And then you have evidence, more additional evidence?
I mean, I have every single text message from the moment we met up until
I
this
don't
case, if you need to know
not
everything.
interested.
You wanna know everything.
Not interested.
Okay.
What I do have a question about specifically goes to the amount of the booking, which is $30.85, and I recognize that the flight prices were not refunded. It says here in the itinerary that you submitted that each person, the adult price for the flight and hotel package was total $426.55. When I did the deduction, 426, and I subtracted what his credit was, it left an amount of $653.63, which is a little different than what the $649.25 was. But I assume that that 1426 obviously includes hotel and flight. There's no way these flights were over $2,000 in basic economy. And so my concern and or question is, where's his other credit? Did you use the credit at the resort for the review under your name?
No, I didn't use any credit. The whole trip got canceled with me on it completely. I got taken off the itinerary. So
I don't
nothing's
believe
ever
that
got
because
used.
they used the same itinerary number, which means a credit was held there. I have traveled with IntelliTravel and through Apple Vacations.
Well, like, and I'm a
And so-
travel agent. What I'm saying is that I didn't get any travel credits. So the only thing that was on here was just based on what he got from the credits. I didn't go on this booking. This
Well,
booking
when I
got
look
completely
at
canceled.
this, whatever this is, where you rebooked, there's a reason why they used the same itinerary number, which means there was a credit left on that itinerary. Otherwise, they would not have
Which would have
used
been
it.
which would have been the credit from the resort booking, right? It's a book that's 2 persons for 1426. Correct. So
Correct.
a booking got rebooked for Tia Austin and myself, which we did not go on a vacation using her travel credit. She had travel insurance. That's why she has a credit, and Johnny has a credit.
I'm not talking about the Tia Austin person. What I'm talking about is they would not use the same itinerary. If it was canceled and he was given a credit, then when you pull up that, it's only his credit there. But if there is something attached to that itinerary number that you use or they believe you were entitled to use, and that's why they would still use that credit number under your new booking. And so that is the question or the concern that I have here. And I see on this itinerary, there was some travel protection. But my concern is that if he paid $3,085 and everything except for the flights are refunded, he's owed more than $700 in a credit.
Not according to Apple Vacations, that's what he's on. It's the 772.
No,
I don't know how they do their breakdown. I didn't do the breakdown. The vacation never got booked, and you can look and verify the flights. And nothing ever happened with that booking. Is what I'm saying. It got completely canceled out, and that's the credit that they gave him for that book. Why they did it that way, I don't know. That's why I had him on the phone to try to explain that.
Well, they couldn't figure it out, and I don't have all day to wait for them to try to figure it out.
Well, I didn't go on this booking, and it got canceled, and he has a credit that he needs to contact Apple if he doesn't want to
No,
use their name.
well, what I'm trying to, I have to figure out if what he said is false, which is that he wasn't owed more than $770. First, he doesn't believe he has a credit at all. He does have a credit, that's clear. But I don't know that his credit was only supposed to be $772.
Right, well,
That
that's
is the
supporting, so
concern.
that's the evidence that I got from Apple. I can't make up anything that they're gonna tell me anything different. That's why I called him to verify the credit. It still doesn't give him the reason to use my store, my boutique, and slander my business's name on Better Business Viewer, because Mika's Boutique and More has nothing to do with Apple Vacations. And he said that it's scammed. I never got booked. It did get booked, and the itinerary did get booked. Whether he got refunded or credit, the problem is that you lied and said that I never booked the vacation, that I scammed you when we called Apple Vacation. So you do know that there was an itinerary, there was a booking that exists, there was a booking that got canceled. There's a credit that if he would have cooperated with me during this whole cancellation, he would have been aware that he had a credit available in that amount.
Okay, let
He
me
said I don't
have you
believe
stop speaking, please. I'm reading something here. The exhibit that you attached in Exhibit 2 from support states here, our air team has advised that passenger Johnny has been canceled off the booking and has 100% non-refundable air as it was booked as basic economy and VATS. He will not be able to use his air credits due to the basic economy policy. If you wish to replace Johnny with an alternate passenger, please call into reservations to have the land rebooked, as the room is still available in the system at the same rate at this time. All rates and availability are subject to change until all changes are complete. The adjustment for Johnny's non-refundable air of $783.60 will remain on the booking.
That's the portion, that was because it was a hotel, so they didn't give me that credit back, so they're talking about the portion from the
You were
hotel.
left on the
If I wanted to
reservation.
rebook the
You
hotel,
were left on the reservation, ma'am.
it says I was left on the reservation. If I wanted to pay an additional $700 and some to go, I would have to pay that. I didn't pay that amount, so I didn't go on that reservation.
That's not what this other sheet says.
Ma'am, that's what I'm telling you. What it's saying, we can call them to verify that. That's what the letter.
Well,
that's
I
what-
asked you to
that's-
call to
that's what it's
verify.
pertaining to. They have to
Unless
phone
you
home.
can get them on the phone to verify something different, I have to go with what I have here.
Okay, so we just call them and you just have me hang up. So if I'm gonna get them back on the phone, we're gonna have to go through the queue and wait again. So as
Well,
long as we got time to wait and get them on the queue. I never went on the vacation is what I'm saying.
you call me back on the record when you have them on the phone. If you want to step out so that you can call them privately, you can do that. You
No
can
problem.
take her into chambers so she can make a private phone call. I'm gonna step off after that until they are back on the line. Barney?
It shows on the reservation right now for Johnny Davidson, $772.97 travel credit. Expiration date April 8th, 2026. And for Shamika Bernie, 0. No travel credits available.
Okay, I have a question. How is it that the original amount of the trip was $3,085 and that's the only amount that's left for travel credit?
Oh, geez. That's a big question. Let me take a look into the notes to see how it was canceled, what was the changes and all of that, see what happened on this reservation. Just a moment in here. Thank you.
Thank you. And these before we had some really great elevator music. Now they're not giving us anything on that.
Working here. Thanks for the wait.
Mhm.
Details with my supporting. Can you put you on hold?
Yes, I have a question. I just called in about 20 minutes ago, talking to a previous representative. Is there any notes on the account pertaining to this matter?
Oh, yes, there are a lot of notes. Yes.
Okay. I'd really like to know what the breakdown is so I can continue my day.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I would really like to know what the breakdown is, please, so I can continue my day.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to check.
Thank
For
you.
the wait. I'm gonna put you on hold in here, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
March 6th or something
That's for the hotel.
It's on here.
That's why they give you a credit.
for the whole hotel fee.
Right, but they haven't broken down what the whole hotel fee was yet. What they've only broken, on this receipt, it only puts 2 people. And it puts per person, it was 14 and some change per person.
Right.
So, which is what it was charged, but if we cancel the resort, then I want to know what the price was for the resort versus the price of the ticket, because if all they were doing was canceling the non-refundable portion, which was the flight, then you should have had a credit for the resort, and they're gonna have to explain to me how these flights were $2,000. If they weren't, then there's some missing credit, and they can explain it to me. Maybe their policy was, you're only entitled to what was under your name, which is the 1426.55. So 1426.55 was under your name, but 1426 was under hers. And so when it was canceled, you get a credit only for yours, because they may not transfer credits. I don't know that. They have to explain that to me.
That's how that works.
Right.
Hello? Are you here? They just hung up. We waited 35 minutes
I'm
for
over
them to
it.
hang up.
Okay, your question, sir?
So I should get a credit of like $1,400, $1,500.
Well, what they said on this itinerary here was that there was 1426 per person. So you do that times 2, it comes out to 2853 for the flights and hotel package. That was each adult was 1426 per person. When they cancel, I don't know if they treat it like an airline treats it. When you cancel at an airline, it does not, you don't get, even let's say you booked a main cabin ticket that gave you a credit when you cancel. You're not gonna get a credit for her portion. You're not entitled to that. They only give you what's in your name. And so I want to know if that was what was going on here. And that's why you only got a credit for 772, because it's clear based off the receipt you're showing me that the flight was about $650.
So if I cancel the hotel and the resort in a timely fashion, they should have gave me a full refund for my resort. So that's what it says. And she even has it in the itinerary. It says that.
Agreed, and they said they gave you a credit. I don't know if that's the full amount. I'll leave that to you to get into the phone with them. I'm not doing any more phones with Apple today, or probably never again in my life.
I've been a travel agent for almost 10 years, and how we operate as a travel agent is when it's multiple people on the booking, it goes amongst those people. So if it's 2 people on the booking, it goes in half. If it's 3, it goes in half that way. So he would have gotten what's credit under his name. He would never would have gotten the whole.
But that was my assumption anyway, so I just wanted them to confirm.
This is what I do for a living.
And that was based off of my own experience with IntelliTravel and Apple Vacations. And you do have to go if it was booked by an agent from IntelliTravel through Apple, that same agent has to do the service. So when I got ready to use that credit a year later, I had to contact that lady. I emailed her, told her what I wanted. She sent me some options. I think there was an option. I think she might have sent me some link to IntelliTravel for where I was going so I can look at some of the options. But she's the one who had to book the confirmation. And so whether or not, I'm not going to get into anymore whether or not you're entitled to additional credit. I'm going to let you deal with that on your own because it's taking up too much time out of my life. But as it relates to the defamation, I have all of, I believe, your evidence that you wanted to submit. I don't believe you have any more evidence. Correct?
Correct.
Neither do you, sir, correct? So again, this was a defamation claim, and the position of the counter plaintiff against you, Mr. Davison, was that you, after agreeing to have a vacation booked, which I think you agree to some portions of this, but disagree with others, of a trip to Jamaica, which she says was for her birthday, that you and her severed your relationship. You told her to cancel the trip. She canceled the trip. There was a credit, and that you later went on the Better Business Bureau and Google making a complaint with some allegations that she engaged in fraud. Let me see exactly what it says. But there was bad service, that you were in the process of a small claims court case against her. The booking was not complete and left me no room to cancel trip 10 weeks in advance. I believe she is a scam artist. And that was I believe, this might be the Google. No, it says star. I don't know what that is.
That's on the Google. I guess that's their Google review. On the 8th, the same day that he asked me to cancel, not giving me time to even cancel and consult with Apple. Went ahead calling me a scammer.
You're saying this was on the 8th?
Yeah, I think.
This is still on Google?
I kept on disputing it in contact. I wrote them a dispute, told them that, we were in a relationship. It's the same thing I claimed to Apple, what I was claiming to you. And the scope of this matter should have been taken care of. And I contacted Better Business Bureau and also explained to them that we were in a personal relationship. This has nothing to do. My boutique has nothing to do.
Okay, I want to stop you because you're moving too fast. You're giving me more than I only want you to answer my question.
Sorry.
Where does it, you allege that he used your personal information? I don't see that on here.
I'm sorry.
You said that when he posted this review, he used information
behind there, on the behind of that sheet that you have in your hand, I believe that has my personal address. It has my zip code to my home address, my personal email address, my boutique's phone number, my boutique's name, which has nothing to do with any of this. My store has nothing to do with anything.
I'm understanding now what you're saying. Okay.
That's the Better Business Bureau to file a complaint. You
file a complaint on Apple
Vacations. You're not going back and forth.
I'm sorry.
You were filing a complaint against Mika's Boutique?
For what?
It's Mika's Boutique and Travel and one thing.
Is that the name of it? Mika's Boutique?
No.
I'm asking him at this point. Is that the name of it? Mika's Boutique and Travel?
I thought it was.
What made you think that?
Because that's what she always said. Right.
Okay, because I'm on her website. I don't see anything about travel on there. You didn't put Mika's Boutique and Travel on your claim. You put Mika's Boutique and More. Is that accurate?
Yeah, more about.
And in visiting, I see nothing offering travel-related services on her boutique.
Nothing and more.
No, nothing on here says on that she offers travel agency services through there. I don't know what the name of her travel agency service is, but there's nothing from this that would make me believe that you believed that Mika's boutique was for travel services. Okay, so you made this, and this was allegedly made on the date after you requested a cancellation. You also told the court that you were not going to take this trip for her birthday, but the court disbelieves that because I don't see why you all would take a trip dead smack in the middle of her birthday if it wasn't for her birthday. You also wanted me to believe that you all were not in a relationship, but I read the text messages. You absolutely were in a relationship, and you said it in the text messages. You told her, the only thing I want you to be thinking about is Jamaica with your man. Plus, we have to do other events. So you were taking her on a trip. You told her you were taking her on a trip. You talked about it. You talked about how you were going to start the year. You talked about other things. You knew she was booking this, that she was going to be the one taking care of it, and that she was going to have to call you when it came time to make the reservation to get some additional information. So you're in a relationship with her. You already know she's a travel agent. You already know, why would she go through someone else? You didn't direct her in here. You need to go directly through Apple. Why would she do that in the first place? You knew all of that was going on. Your only request was that she was supposed to get rid of your credit card number after she made the arrangements. And she said in the messages, for security purposes, it's automatically deleted after the transaction is made. And I got to call you after Bible studies when I get ready to do X, Y, and Z to get some information. You proceed to send a text message with your credit card number and information on there. So I don't believe for 1 minute that you didn't have any understanding that she was going to be booking this trip. You already knew she was a travel agent. So I don't think that was a question or concern. The other concern that I have is that when you got upset or whatever caused you all to have a breakdown, whether it was that she had too much going on, which I don't think she provided. I don't think either of you provided me.
I got an email right there.
I don't think I was gonna say, none of you provided me text messages about when this was gonna get canceled. I asked you if you had any other evidence 17 times. Now you got evidence. What is that?
The text message that I sent her
For what?
on the day that I told her that the relationship, she was, I was dealing with too much. And
Does it tell you, does it say, did you ask her to cancel the trip on that text message?
I got the
I don't
email
wanna
where, text where I got it canceled too.
Unless that purports to tell me when you told her to cancel it, I don't really need to see that anymore. I believe that you all broke up. I don't care how or why you broke up. I believe it. And so the concern is whether or not your statements that she provided poor service or that she had defrauded you were false. I agree they were false. Those were not true statements, and you knew they weren't true. You were being vindictive. You knew that she had not provided you any poor services. You wanted to purport and you did attach a business that's not even associated with it, which it's automatically false. Whether it was your intent to use that business or not, before you go filing a Better Business Bureau investigation claim, you better make sure you have the right information. You attached a business that she sells clothing on. And you said that she provided you poor service and that your ex-friend was supposed to have booked a vacation, but she used her own travel agency and I never authorized her to do that. That's not the truth. I read your text messages. You knew she was going to do that. She said in the text messages.
I authorized her to book the vacation, but it was supposed to be booked directly through Apple.
That was not a communication that you had.
So that's why I call it poor service, because if it was in King Johnny's name, I could have canceled the thing.
It was in your name.
I couldn't cancel it.
Yes, you could. It was in your name, but you got to cancel through the agent. That's how it works. You knew she was booking it and you knew she was a travel agent. She booked it through her travel agency company and you had to go through her to cancel it, what she did. You can't go directly to Apple Vacations. That's how IntelliTravel works.
I didn't know that.
That's not our fault. The fact that you didn't know something doesn't mean that you get to now go and file a claim saying someone provided you poor service, because it's being told to you how this works. It tells you even on the itinerary how you cancel it. You have to read your own stuff that you got. You told me you didn't get anything from Apple Vacations, and then you proceeded to hand me something that came from Apple Vacations that tells you that you had booked an itinerary and that you received this via your email. You said you received it Sunday, 11 a.m. on December 22, 2024. And it tells you how far in advance you can cancel. It tells you what was refundable, what was not refundable. And it tells you if you book directly through Apple, you go through Apple. If you didn't book directly through Apple, you did a third party, you got to go through that third party. Your booking was through a third party. And unfortunately, it was through a third party in which you were having some relationship with. There's nothing here or nothing that Ms. Barney has presented to show me that she's done anything that was unprofessional. You asked her to cancel it. She immediately canceled the booking. You have not provided me any messages showing me where you all had some additional back and forth, where she told you she wasn't going to do it, where I see where it was canceled. To the contrary, I see where you took additional steps to now try to dispute the charge on your credit card when you knew you had booked a vacation and you had gotten confirmation that you had booked a vacation. It tells you right here that you booked a vacation, and it was an Apple Vacations reservation with a reservation number, and that the third party was IntelliTravel. It tells you that on here.
But look on the back, it doesn't even have my name on it.
Your name is on the front. It says it right here. This is your exhibit. Johnny Eric Davison.
I'm talking about the travel
I don't
service.
care. This is your itinerary. Your name is on there.
Yeah, but on the other one, the credit card company had my name not on the itinerary.
I don't care about that. That was after the fact. That was after you had asked for it to be canceled. After you asked for it to be canceled and you go pull something up, it could have anybody's name on it. You asked for it to be canceled and you got confirmation the same day that it was canceled. Going in there on the 14th of February to see that there's new people on there, irrelevant. Because you've been canceled and they gave you a credit. And they notified you that they gave you a credit.
They didn't.
Yes, they did. They said it right here. That after you had committed a fraudulent request for a chargeback. Chargeback is when you are a victim of fraud. You did not authorize any charges. You authorized charges. We got text message here to show you that you authorized the charges. Not only that, this is a legitimate business. You got a legitimate reservation and it was right here. You knew you had a legitimate trip because you told her to cancel it. You can't cancel a fake trip. So you knew it. You just didn't like it. And you were upset, and now you're being vindictive. And not only did you cancel the trip because you were being vindictive, you now want to go and discredit her business. You went on 2 sites and said very bad service, and that you were suing her and that she's a scam artist. She's shown that nothing she's done was a scam. So that means your statements were false. And you knew they were false. You knew you had an itinerary because this is your exhibit. You showed me your itinerary. You knew you had a trip and you knew that it was legitimate. And just because when you cancel it, you don't get your full amount back doesn't make her a scam artist. When you book a non-refundable flight or trip, it's non-refundable. She didn't get to keep your money. Now, whether or not she kept her portion of the flight, that's up to her. She doesn't have to cancel yours. You said cancel a trip. I ain't going on a trip with you no more. There's a portion of that trip in her name. You will never get credit for it. And if she canceled the trip in her name, Delta just pockets the money. She doesn't have to cancel that just because you don't want to go. If Apple Vacations policy is that when we cancel a trip for 2, the only thing that you're entitled to rebook is what's under your name, then that's their policy. All the information I have right now supports that that's to be their policy. That's based on what I have here, which is the credit amount. If I subtract what the total per person amount minus what I believe to be the amount of the price of the ticket, and that's based on what you showed me on your phone, then I believe that they only credited you what was applied under your name. When I had a similar situation with IntelliTravel through Apple Vacations, that's exactly what happened to me. They put my portion in my name. They put the other portion in the other person's name, one email, because I was the one who primarily handled the booking, and it was on my credit card. They send me the email. It had my name and her name on there and the amount of the credit for each. As it turns out, we were still friends. A year later, I want to take a birthday trip, so we both use it. So I didn't have that issue. But she was able to use the credit under her name, and I was able to use the credit under my name. And we didn't book. This was only land. This was not anything that included air. So I believe that that is their policy, but we can't get them on there to confirm. You can navigate that yourself. You can call them on your own, or you can, the two of you outside of this can get back on the phone, and you can wait until infinity on the phone with Apple Vacations to try to figure out whether or not you should have gotten more credit or not. I'll leave that up to you. I'm not going to get involved in that, but I do believe that you did disseminate or publish information that you knew to be false, and that it was defamatory to her. Now, here's where the issue for you is. You got to prove that you had some damages, and you've not been able to prove any damages here. You got to show me where you lost business, or that somebody was going to book with you and they didn't, or that Apple Vacations put you on pause and you were, or IntelliTravel said you're not able to, book until we can sort this out. And you've not been able to establish any of that.
I can establish that because I had to go when that chargeback came back. I got that came back for me with that chargeback. I had to present them information for the chargeback and everything for them. I wasn't unable to do what I needed to do.
I recognize that you had to present up to help clear that up, but did they put your ability to book travel on pause while that happened?
Not exactly, but I don't know who's seen these reviews is what I'm saying. It was on Google. I'm sure somebody.
I recognize.
There says that people were looking.
I just looked. I don't see the review on there. So I can't, I don't, it must have been taken off. So I don't know. I think you had 7 reviews at the time.
And I kept going back to speed.
Yeah, it's probably been removed at this point because it's definitely not on there now. It looks like you might have 13 reviews. And this is on Google, if this is what you're telling me. Overall, it looks like the reviews were all positive. And a lot of these reviews look like they came around about the time or after. Most of these reviews were after even this alleged post, because this would have been in January of 2025.
I've had my boutique for 8.5 years.
Right, and there's a lot of posts that were like 7 months from here. So it looks like you still had some good business. I don't know what or how this affected your finances or your business, but that's for you to prove. Now, I do believe that it does have an effect, her coming into court having to dispute all that. She's supposed to, you work.
I would be at work right now. My store is closed.
She's got to close her business to come in here and deal with that. There's a cost associated with that. I do believe that there has been some emotional distress, but I can't put a number on what her emotional distress is for having to come in here or having to go back and dispute these statements. You got to be careful about what you do and what you say about people, especially when you're attaching their means of money to it, how they earn money. How would you like it if she called your job because she was upset and said something fraudulent about you to get you in trouble? You wouldn't like it. And so I recognize that the relationship didn't go the way you wanted to, but that you were the one who requested, after what she said was a short period of time, that you wanted to take her on a trip. You wanted me to believe that you were doing this because it was the start of baseball. That's not why you was taking on a trip. You just made it clear in there why you was taking her on a trip. And so I don't believe you've been 100% honest with the court about the nature of the relationship, why you were going on the trip. I do believe that you lack some information as it relates to how this works. I don't think that was necessarily on her because it tells you in the paperwork that you have a relationship, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so nothing about that shows the court that she defrauded you and made and did it and told you that she booked a trip when she didn't. She did book a trip. She did book it through Apple Vacations. She's a travel agent. Why would she go through anybody but her own system to go through it? Probably even got a discount because she did that. I don't know. But I think it's reasonable, and I think you knew that she was doing that based off the communication that I saw that was submitted by her between the two of you. And you have a credit. So, and you've received all this information from Apple Vacations and or IntelliTravel since then. but I think that you had already jumped the gun and made these statements on the World Wide Web that you could not now retract. It's important when you're going through breakups and other such that you're careful about what you disseminate, because sometimes you might be acting in the heat of passion, and later you can put yourself in a situation that you can't really turn around from. Unfortunately, I have nothing that before me that I can rule on as it relates to losses. So I can't give you a ruling. I think it literally is a dollar is only I can give you, because you haven't given me anything that to support what you lost.
I can bring some supporting documents if that's what I need to do.
Your
I mean,
your
I
boutique
should
is
have
open
known that.
daily, is what you're
My
saying?
boutique is open Tuesday through Saturday, and I have a travel agency. I'm also a notary and a process service. So I have multiple businesses there. So I'm
Okay,
losing multiple
so-
income by not being at work.
So I'm gonna have to
What do
reset.
I need to bring you?
You gotta bring proof and evidence to support. This is the amount of money that I lost from my business as a result of his false statements and even litigating the false statement, because I recognize you have to close your business to come here.
And okay, so how am I supposed to produce evidence? Okay, I had like yesterday, for example, I had a booking for 25,000. I don't know each person each day what they're gonna pay on booking. So okay, so I had a customer come in and book their vacation to Africa. They paid $25,000 for people first class flights. I have customers high end, so I'm losing different amounts. It's not the same amount every day. I don't get paid by the hour.
So the court's not allowed to make a guesstimation that because this was posted that someone was going to call your business for travel services and they didn't. Because again, even as he posted the statement, he attached it to your clothing business, not to your
Just false out. That's the false.
right. But
allegation.
but let me talk now. He didn't attach this to any travel agent, so it wasn't like someone was trying to Google, Mrs. Barney's travel agency. I don't know what your travel agency is called, and then saw these reviews. They wouldn't see that by doing that. They would only see these reviews by looking up Mika's Boutique and More.
No, well, they would have seen that, but looking at Mika's Boutique and More. But most of my customers use both business. It's a one-stop shop. So it's Mika's Boutique and More, Exclusive Travel and More, and then I do Michigan document notary services. So it's most customers that use my boutique use my travel agency too. I've been around for quite some time.
So then these are people that would know you then. That doesn't
Some
help
customers
support
would know me,
your,
but not
that
all my
claim wouldn't help
customers know
support
me.
any of your claim that you had damages, because if people know you, because they would know when someone's lying.
But not all my customers know me. I have a travel agency. I
get all
have
that.
a website for my boutique, and I have a
I get
storefront
that.
as well.
It's your
So my
responsibility, it's the
customers wouldn't
plaintiff's
know.
responsibility to bring the proof of damages. I can't tell you
Okay.
how you bring
Okay, well,
that.
I'll bring some. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
when I don't have a crystal ball. Every day someone shops. I don't
And
know
the
if
court
it's
doesn't have a crystal
$1,000
ball either,
sale,
so I can't just say,
$5,000.
$5,000 because it's happened. Because
Okay.
it could be that you
Okay.
lost 10,000, it could be that you lost zero. I don't
Okay, so I
know.
guess I'll have to compare what I made last year in March,
You
and what I
can't
will
bring
make for this month in March,
fictitious numbers either. It has
Well,
to
I'm
be
just saying,
actual
like-
losses.
because it's a boutique and it's a travel agency. No one spends the same amount. I sell clothes, shoes, and accessories. So therefore, it can be $1,000 day to day, $500 day, $300 day. Never, one day is not the same in the retail industry. So what I'm saying is that, do you want me to bring you a balance sheet from what I should have made? I mean, what's my breakdown for the court? What's sufficient?
So what
for
you're
the court?
talking about is,
How do I?
I'm
bring-
assuming you're talking about bringing proof of damages for shutting down your business when you had to come in here on a Tuesday when you normally would be open. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, because you said I need
You
to
can bring a
damages for each
balance
day.
sheet of what you normally would have grossed during that time for the court to look, and you got to show me evidence of this is every
Okay.
Tuesday. This is what I'm usually bringing in. You can bring that in.
Okay. I'll bring on Wednesday. So
I
I
don't know, ma'am. I don't know how you're going to prove
Okay.
damages as it relates to your travel agency. I really don't, unless you knew that someone that
You
was
mean
going
my
to.
boutique,
You're
right?
talking over me. Unless you knew that someone was going to book with you, and then now they didn't because they saw this post. I don't know how you're going to prove
I
that.
guess I'm trying to understand. The post was on am I bringing you proof from my travel agency and my boutique, or both? Because the post was on the boutique regarding the travel, which was
You're
a
bringing-
personal problem.
Whatever,
not-
I don't care where your money stopped because you're bringing any
Okay.
proof that these statements affected your ability to earn money.
Okay.
Actual earnings,
Okay.
not
Okay.
what you believed you could have earned.
Okay.
Actual earnings, like I would have been able to book, I lost this client and they, this person was gonna book with me, but they saw these posts. You have to be able to establish that there were actual damages. So if you can bring some of that proof, then that'll help the court determine whether or not your
So how do I
cost.
know if the damages were the boutique and not the travel? He
And I
posted,
don't
like
care
you
if it
said,
was,
he
I'm
posted
not
the
asking
travel.
for one or the other. You're
Okay, so I just bring in everything for
Exactly.
what each bit my boutique would have made, what the travel agency would have made per day. Cause I took a loss of not being there. I don't know which business took a loss. It's in the same location. So I guess that's why I was trying to figure out what should I bring you, a balance sheet from the boutique, the travel, or my notary and process.
Whatever you're alleging, if you're saying you lost,
Well, all businesses
you lost money from both, then you have to
Okay.
provide proof of damages for both.
Okay, I'll bring.
Okay,
I'll
that's
bring
up
in
to you. Okay, and so I'll give you, time to do that. Can we have a date for her to bring that through?
If I'm not there, I'm not making money if I'm not open.
I would agree to that. I said that. This is a plaintiffs. I believe this was. I think we were October 14th at 9. October 14th at 9. This is hers, this is his. Okay, we'll get you a notice to appear. Any questions for the court? From either of you?
So I have to appear too, then,
You both have to appear.
but I'm losing money too now, you know.
It was based on your statement that you're losing money.
My balance sheets and bank accounts and everything.